It's a tumultuous day in the world of Magic the Gathering. The Brothers War set has failed on multiple levels. Jumpstart is an absolute disaster. And over at Hasbro, their stock has been crushed and their chief financial officer has just bailed on the company. I don't know how things could get crazier than this.
Magic. I am a wizard! History. The Magic Historian. My bones hurt.
Greetings, owners of fine luxury cardboard rectangles, my friends. I hope the day finds you well because we have gathered for another installment of Mega Magic News, and there is a ton to talk about today. I have a lot of notes, so let's dive right in, starting out with the Jumpstart disaster. Brothers War Jumpstart hasn't even technically fully released yet, but it's already being fire sailed. This product is an absolute disaster, but overall, it's a larger disaster in the scope of Jumpstart, and it is a real big indicator of how Wizards is operating right now and the mistakes they're making. So the original Jumpstart was a great product. The idea is we're gonna make these little packets, slap them together, have some fun little games. Great, but they ran into a problem where they couldn't produce enough of it. So Jumpstart was super short printed. So you have this situation where a bunch of people want the Jumpstart. The singles in it go to the moon because they're super hard to get. Even the basic lands from these Jumpstart kits, they're like, check it out, this one has dogs on it. People are like, oh, dog lands, yeah, like, I'll give you $10 for that. So the prices on everything were insane. And it made Wizards think that Jumpstart was a bigger thing than it is. So they took the lands from the Jumpstart and went, we'll make foil version and put them in secret layers, not realizing a bunch of people would be like, the bonus card's just a regular basic? What even is this? So they failed in that regard, not understanding exactly like the love that people had for Jumpstart and why they had it, tied in with the lack of supply. And then you have them going, okay, theme boosters aren't working, get rid of them, and then they essentially just reskin them as Jumpstart. So they come out with the second Jumpstart, which is nothing like the first Jumpstart. It's the Dominaria United one. And this is really just theme boosters with a new name. And so people quickly figure this out. You buy a box of this and you're not specifically buying it just for the experience of playing it, you're going to be very unhappy. If you bought it for the experience of playing it, you're probably still going to be unhappy because there's not enough variety. I heard from a ton of people who said, bro, this was awful because I didn't even know what it was going to be. And then I heard of people saying, I knew what it was and I bought it to play it for what it was, and it was miserable. So this version of Jumpstart is an absolute failure. So you have one that succeeded, one that failed. Now we reach the Brothers War where people learned from the first one. No, I don't want it. We've gotten to the point where when I was at an LGS this weekend, because I took time this weekend away from all the bad stuff that was going on with Magic to get me some Brothers War action, okay? So I was pre-releasing this weekend, having a great time, but it was also eye-opening to hear the numbers. Talking to the store owner, and he's rattling off his entire inventory of what he purchased for the Brothers War. And it's like X number of boxes of this, X number of this, a whole bunch 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 of this. One box of Jumpstart. One box for the whole store for the whole time. And there were 2 boxes of Dominaria Jumpstart sitting on the shelf. And I'm pretty sure that the one that was open sitting up there was the only, I'm pretty sure we only got 2. And one of them was still there half full. Like that's how bad Jumpstart has done. So we're moving into the next Jumpstart after this, where Wizards isn't going to be able to sell it. People are going to go, no, no, no. They're not going to have gotten the messaging that, oh, this Jumpstart is different, because Wizards marketing has lost their minds. They're slapping names on whatever. Call theme boosters Jumpstart. Look at Secret Lair. I'm about to show you another example of Wizards of the Coast taking a name and just smearing it onto something else going, look, it's this thing. Secret Lair was originally get 4 or 5 special unique cards. Then they stretched the concept out by going Secret Lair Commander deck. 5 cards that are actually Secret Lair cards, 95 reprints, the whole Commander deck with a few other fraps that will actually take us a year to get you. Not a great deal. So that is the next step. But now we're moving into Secret Lair prize cards, friends. Do you know what those are? They're literally just participation promos. That's it. Wizards of the Coast is giving out participation promos like they did for every event. Here, top 32, if you show up, you get one. Come in top 8, you get this. Come in first, you get this. That's what they're doing. But they're just calling them secret layer prize cards. They're not affiliated with secret layers, aside from the fact that they will have goofy secret layer-esque art, but you can't get them in a secret layer, you can't order them. They're literally participation promos. So Wizards of the Coast is essentially just taking names like Jumpstart, smearing them on every product, secret layer, smearing it across everything, going, they liked this thing, put that name on everything. The marketing is insane. Like, they may as well just start calling Magic secret layer Jumpstart. Why not? Because that's the level we're at, to the point where they are absolutely cannibalizing future sales, but not even cannibalizing, that would be to eat them. They're just making them non-existent. You basically ruined the name of Jumpstart. You did one good one and then 2 bad ones, and you're going to release another one a month later and go, this is the one you should be excited for, guys. It's not going to work. So Jumpstart is a disaster. It's literally being fire sold off right now, where some places are selling it at cost because they know it's poison. LGSs are like, oh, why did we get this? The ones that didn't clue in and go, just give me 1 box, are now fully aware. And some of them are going to go, yeah, I'll take some Jumpstart 2022. But even if the store owners know, and even if some of us online know, that doesn't change the fact that overall, most people don't know. And that's a big deal. So this is a huge mistake on their part, because they're already seeing, like, Brothers War already has decreasing sales numbers in the first place. Forget Jumpstart. Across the board, I'm being told from numerous sources that Brothers War pre-orders are down. Not as many people are getting in on this. So Wizards of the Coast is seeing smaller revenue on the products that people are interested in. And on a side note, if I haven't told you already, the Brothers War set itself, in terms of flavor, in terms of delivering the original story, it's amazing. It's everything that it should be. Like, I'm disappointed this set is kind of struggling sales-wise, because it's so well put together in terms of the flavor and the lore. If you've never heard the original story of the Brothers War, I have 4.5 hours of lore videos on them on my Fantasy Geographic channel. I'll leave it at the end for you to check out, because it's my favorite story in all of Magic, and this set does the cards so right. So the Brothers War is just a victim of the overall circumstances of Magic. I firmly believe that the Brothers War basically is suffering from the 30th anniversary. So you have that situation where the 30th anniversary product has done a couple of things. There's a handful of people who want to save money for it, but the majority of people are so incensed that they are like, yo, I'm not buying Magic anymore. Time out, son. Time out. And they're just walking off, right? Some people are going way more than time out, and they are selling off their entire collections. So the panic selling that had started before still has not abated. There are stores that still are saying, we're not paying out in cash. Nobody has gotten to the point. None of the stores have said, we're not taking cards in anymore. That would be a terrifying situation. If any of the big names said, we're not buying, period, not even for store credit or anything like that, that would be the biggest indicator that I could think of that things had gone to insane levels, because you can never see exactly how many people are walking out the door. They don't say it. We don't see it. We don't have the numbers. Wizards doesn't even have the numbers. What you have to do is you have to pay attention to everything around it. How are the markets moving? How are the buyers? How are the sellers acting, right? There's lots of data that pulls together to give you the overall picture, and the picture is grim. A lot of people are leaving, and a lot of people are hanging on to their money. And 30th anniversary is looming over the game right now like a vulture, right? So it's not coming out until the 28th, and I don't think that the pressure that it's putting on the game is going to abate until next year, really, in terms of people's dissatisfaction. And the thing is, they have every right to be dissatisfied. It's the greediest product we've ever seen from Wizards. And they've gotten so greedy, and the level of care that they put into their products has gone down considerably. Like, we've already talked about problems with the Brothers War set, but I have more to discuss with you. I want to talk about the Mask of the Jade Crafter. So I'm going to put something up on the screen, and you guys take a look at this card. You take a look, you can see it's a pretty simple artifact that makes you your XX dude, and it's God Unearthed. So why am I even talking about this? Why is this on the screen? Well, look at the Unearthed cost. Do you notice a little inconsistency? Why is one green mana and one has a black mana instead? What is going on here? Why have we reached the point where Wizards of the Coast is straight up printing different mana symbols on different cards and giving us Hercule at different rarities, while also cranking up the prices of their products to absurd levels and going, we're going to reprint this but it's also not real Magic cards. Give us $1,000. We're not going to bother to spend the time to see what's in the product we're sending out to you. Like, guys, here's where we're moving into the really gross situation. For those of you who think that the 30th anniversary product is going to be printed well because it's worth a lot of money, or that Wizards will take special care, I would like to disabuse you of that notion. Because when it comes to the serialized cards, and this is amazing to me, Wizards of the Coast never ceases to amaze me when they find new ways to hose themselves. Turning misprint collectors against them, that's a new one. Bravo. So you have serialized cards. These are the numbered to 500 cards, rainbow foils that you can only get in collector packs. These are your big daddy juicy, you get the fish on the hook, let's go. This is what you want, right? So this should be the biggest deal. There should be no problems with these. And you'll recall I showed you in a video a few days ago, there was the Bone Saw, like I think it was the last video we did. The Bone Saw was printed horrifically, right? Well, what if I was to tell you that I saw a whole bunch of misprinted serialized cards where I went, oh, another one. And what if I told you there was so many that the people in the misprint group, because you have to understand, whenever there are misprint cards like this, there will be some people who go, yo, you just won the lottery, son. You just won the lottery. You got that card, but that misprint card, you can sell it for more. You won the lottery. If the lottery was, you got to go find a buyer for this card, you got to ship it to them, you got to collect payment, then you got to go buy yourself a new version of the card, get it shipped to you, wait for it to show up, and then whatever else you got, that's your profit. You're lucky. And it's like, bro, it can feel like Wizards gave you a part-time job, depending on the situation. But there is that pervasive air of misprints equal money. So there's always the lottery. Wow, you hit the lottery. And you will see that out in normal places like Magic, Reddit. But in the misprint group, it's all about enjoying misprints. People aren't there to complain about the misprints. They are avid, active collectors of major misprints who spend crazy amounts of money on these misprints, like thousands of dollars on misprints, right? They're willing to spend this money. So comments that I'm seeing popping up multiple times over the place is like genuine misprint collectors going like, you know what, I like misprints and everything, but shouldn't Wizards be taking more care with these serialized numbered cards? Like, these are the really special ones, and there are a lot of error versions of these in here. Like, there's only 500 of each of these cards in existence, and they're popping up with some regular frequency to the point where it's like, it is evident Wizards doesn't care. And what do you even do in that situation? You can contact Wizards for replacements sometimes. We're like, oh, did you have a problem with your cards? Well, we'll send you replacement boosters or whatever else. This is one of 500. Did they print extra? No. Well, they shouldn't have printed extra. Does that mean there's extra copies kicking around of each one? And if not, how do you replace it? It's an irreplaceable damaged good. Like, you wouldn't accept that with any other product. You wouldn't go, yo, go down to the store, I got a shovel. Oh, my shovel's janked. I can't shove with it. It looks like crap and it doesn't work right. That's a misprint shovel. Sell it on the internet. Buy yourself a regular shovel. And it's like, no, I'm just not going to buy from that company anymore. You're dumb, man. That's free money. Like, that is what's going on with Wizards, to the point where if you think that Wizards isn't aware of the misprints and the value that they have, let me explain something to you. At one point, Wizards of the Coast quality was so bad that they released a commander deck where the cards had, on the back of every card was a front of a card printed. So it looked normal from the front, but on the back it was double printed. Or maybe it was even double printed on both sides. It might have been double printed on both sides, where the thing had just been fed through multiple times or something, but the whole commander deck was like that. And the misprint community lost their minds. The dude who got it got $100,000 in terms of selling all the cards from it. He literally cashed in hard, like so hard. And so people go, wow, well, you won the, I mean, he really did in terms of selling the cards off. The amount of money that he's making is still worth his time. That's a considerable part-time job. But at the same time, do you know what Wizards of the Coast did? Do you know what Wizards of the Coast did because of that commander deck and whatever? They didn't go, you know what? We'd like to issue a statement saying we're sorry that something of that poor quality went out. They celebrated it. They enshrined it in a card. There's a card called Emil the Blessed, and it is a unicorn card. And it is meant to signify the extreme unicorn luck that this man has in finding a poorly printed Magic product that he sold for a bunch of money. Like, Wizards of the Coast is literally printing trophies of how their misprints, like they're laughing at us, guys. That's the deal. Like that's what that card is. It's a celebration of how they can milk us from every possible angle, and even their errors are worth money. Can you see why Wizards is so arrogant with what they do? It's just, it's maddening. So you have this scenario where they're printing these special chase cards to garbage quality. Like what is the plan here, right? And the greed goes to every level. The 30th anniversary is supposed to be special. The 30th anniversary promos, well, guess what? Loyal retainers, Wizards decided to make it a super rare chase 30th anniversary card for no reason other than that it's loyal retainers and that it has some more value on the secondary market. And just like how thick does the irony get when the name is even about loyalty and like retainer, retain, to keep, loyalty, to keep, 30th anniversary, loyalty to keep. We keep the money. We don't deserve your loyalty. We don't deserve to retain you. It's emblematic of what Wizards of the Coast has become, and it's increasingly driving me crazy. Like, I'm enjoying myself with the cards, but it's really frustrating to deal with. So, what's going on? I mentioned about how the CFO bailed on Hasbro. Hasbro's stock has just got like Macho Man, oh yeah, brother, from the top of the ropes. 40% drop from the beginning of the year or whatever. Hasbro's getting hammered. They're basically going to their shareholders going, yo, we're going to increase profits by 50% over the next 3 years. We're going to do it, son. We're going to do it, son. And then Wizards is coming in and being like, our profits are down 16%. And Hasbro's like, our profits are, our money's down, but we're going to do it, son. We're going to do it. And then the stockholders are just like, I'm out. And the chief financial officer is just like, this seems like a really good time to, what's that called? I think I'm just going to do that retirement thing, because sinking ships and all that. I believe it's time for me to make my exit on out of here, right? So the chief financial officer is only sticking around long enough to find a replacement. You got to understand that Hasbro is desperate. Their stock is going blah, 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 right? And the money's got to come from somewhere. And they're eyeing more and more the digital world. Now, Hasbro has been all about physical toys, your G.I. Joes, your Transformers, all that stuff growing up, right? Like, they have been embedded, I didn't realize while I was growing up, but as an adult, I realized they were responsible for a lot of stuff in my life, including that trauma with the Transformers movie. Didn't need that, guys. You want to sell toys, you don't need to destroy my heroes. But anyways, they've been responsible for all this kind of stuff. We're moving into this digital realm, and now they've got to lean more on digital properties. So one of the things that's going on is Arena needs to be cranking money for Hasbro because Magic the Gathering is one of their, hey, we're touting this. But the problem is Arena's been horribly mismanaged, right? You have a situation where they started out saying, this is going to be the location for pro play. This is going to be everything. And then they went, it's not working. Change it into Hearthstone. Force it on them through alchemy. And then they went, oh, it's not working. People are leaving and they're not coming back. And, oh, we pulled everybody from the standard events onto online, but then we just tried to grind them out. Like, one of the things that sticks in my craw the most about Arena is the Mastery Pass system, where you pay them $20 worth of gems and you're not even guaranteed the stuff. Don't have enough time to play every day. You can just pay us more for this. Like, they've been greedy on every level. And you can see now things have gotten bad for them. Anytime Wizards does anything that seems like it's in your favor, it's because they're desperate. Remember at the beginning of Arena when it was 500 gold for a booster that was normally 1,000? And then they slowly went 600, 700, 800, 900, to the point where you don't even feel like you're getting a deal. You just begrudgingly buy it because you're like, technically it's cheaper, but if you think this builds the same goodwill, you're out of your mind. But they don't care. It's not about building goodwill. It's about grinding you. It's about taking things away from you. That's why alchemy was forced into historic, because this is what we're doing now. We want to be hard. It's like, bro, people just go play Hearthstone if that's what they want to play. You can't change your game into another game. This shouldn't be a newsflash, but the strength of Magic the Gathering is being Magic the Gathering. Play your own game. Stick to the right path. So now Arena's scrambling. Remember, we've been on this path for a while. They saw the damage they did with alchemy and they went, you know what, guys? We're just going to sell wild cards direct. But even then they were greedy. We'll sell you wild cards for the same rate as if you just like bought the boosters, but you only get the wild cards and none of the other cards because that's fair and fun, right? And now they're just like, limited time thing. Hey, how about you buy 4 for $10? Can we have $10? Maybe $10? Just buy 4? Just buy 4 wild cards. This isn't, please? Please just buy 4 wild cards, maybe just a couple of wild cards right now, just a little. Also, we made these gold boosters because here's the thing, guys. We know you like to draft and build your collections, but we know you have to wait 2 weeks. I mean, we're the ones who made it that way because we're intentionally trying to hose you into buying stuff, but we know you need to wait 2 weeks. So we've made these gold boosters that are like the equivalent. So now you don't have to wait 2 weeks. You don't have to wait 2 weeks to draft. You can just get these packs. And it's like, I'm going to tell you something right now. If they were the equivalent, Wizards of the Coast would straight up allow you to draft from the beginning. They're not equivalent. Wizards of the Coast will do this. They will hand you 4 and tell you it's pretty much the same as 5 and just go, okay, this is like 5, but it's a 4. So that's how Wizards works. They'll make you think, hey, pretty much a 5. No, that's a 4. No, hey, it's like that. No, it's not. And I can do math. It's really straight. But just do this thing that we want. Like, we're not. It seems like they're doing more for you, but it's still less than if you're a drafter, and they know it. That's exactly what it is. It's like, hey, drafters, we're trying to bribe you into not doing the thing that's best for you after trying to completely hose you out of it. The fact that they want free-to-play players to be there to beef up their numbers, but also resent the fact that they don't play is hilarious. Wizards of the Coast is so entitled in everything they do. And now they're desperate for money for Arena, and we're going to see, like, basically Arena's not going to pull that money. So, you know, the 30th anniversary, everything's going to get crazier from here. The 30th anniversary is probably going to be topped by a bigger, more insane product. And I know that sounds nutty, right? But you have to understand that Wizards of the Coast doesn't know their own limitations because they haven't found them yet. This 30th anniversary is really the first time they're even finding what the upper level is, because the snapback on this product has been massive, right? Like, people decried Double Masters when it came out. They said, Double Masters is overpriced garbage. Like, yeah, there's a bunch of desirable cards in there, but you're essentially charging us insane prices. This isn't right. This isn't right. But they walked up and handed over their money in record numbers. Like, everybody was like, I'll buy it, I'll buy it, I'll buy it, I'll buy it. And you had stores going, I'm going to keep some. You had distributors going, I'm going to keep some. Everybody has some Double Masters 2022 tucked away in the vault. That's how it went. And that was like the biggest hubbub product. That was the biggest deal, the most expensive, insane product Magic had ever made until 30th anniversary. So up until that point, Wizards had gotten the exact same response they had always gotten. Rabble, 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 here's my money. And Wizards always takes the money and doesn't listen to the rabble, 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 because the money speaks loudest. But this time, with 30th anniversary, it's just been rabble, 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 and then one person, money, rabble, 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 rabble. Like, they found the upper limit to a degree. But the problem is, Wizards is a tortoise as a company. They operate on a very far scale. Even quickly made products are going to take like 6 months, but they usually work in advance, a year and a half, 2 years. They have to keep things going to the production facilities. Look at how much what happened in the world screwed everything up with massive product delays, right? So in terms of products like 30th anniversary, this was cooked up a while back. And that means there's more coming. There has to be another product that is at least equally insane as the 30th anniversary or crazier, because Wizards basically builds up your resistance for this stuff. They must have been cackling like fiends when Double Masters 2022 flew off the shelves and people were paying $400 or $500 a box, right? Because it's like, okay, that's already half of this, and we're gonna do beta, and it's got all the Power 9 and all this other stuff in it, and ultimately, like, the whole these are like power is working on some people, but it's not working on enough. This had, like, their whole marketing campaign where they've sent stuff out to big professionals, all that, it's all failed. But none of that is going to change the fact that there's still more coming. It's printed, and the corporate dictate is going to be to push it out on the people and see what happens. Maybe they'll adjust the price point, so maybe the next product we see won't technically be as crazy, because they'll be like, we should dial it back a bit. But what remains to be seen is, does this product sell out? Because if the 30th anniversary product completely sells out, even with the rabble, 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 it guarantees we get the next step of insanity, because that's how the corporation works. It only pulls back when the money says to do so. Mythic editions got squashed by lawsuits. The master sets, they got squashed by Wizards of the Coast realizing, wait a minute, we've completely ruined this product. Nobody's buying it anymore. We've ruined the name from slapping it on everything, right? Master sets used to just be, okay, it's to feed Modern, it's to feed Eternal. Then they went, master sets are to just be themes. Aren't themes great? Hey, why is nobody buying Iconic and Masters 25? What do you mean they're still sitting in the warehouse 6 months later? Oh, this is terrible. All right, and the master sets. And do you guys know what brought the master sets back? Do you know what made double masters come back into existence? Production issues, where they said, grab some unfinished set, slap something together, and just get it done. And that's how double masters the first came to be. And that was basically the next era of insano greed. And so 2023 is going to usher in greed like 3.0, I guess, for the 30th anniversary, right? So we are going to see what's next after the 30th anniversary. And I am both curious and just full of dread, because honestly, I love Magic the Gathering so much, and I had so much fun at the pre-releases on Friday and Saturday. So my friends, make sure that you're enjoying yourself with your hobby. These videos are meant to be informative and entertaining, not to leave you unhappy. So remember, this is our shared hobby. We're all here to have a good time. I'd like to thank all of my patrons for supporting my channel. You guys are great. I'd also like to thank everybody for coming by. I will see you all next time, or feel free to come by my live stream tonight. See you later.